Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. It is Thursday, and boy, is it still windy. I can't believe the wind and the cold and the warm. And the other day I had on a really puffy jacket. I had shorts on, and I'm talking about like basketball shorts, and then socks and tennis shoes. But I said, this is how you dress when you live in Texas, because it's either going to be, it's going to be 20 degrees on Monday. And right now is it close to 70? It's like 67 or something. And it's just amazing. You never know what it's going to be like. And so when people talk about climate change, that move to Texas, you can't get all the climate change you want.
If you don't like the weather, just wait like 5 minutes. It'll change.
It's right. It is amazing. Our guest today, after I praise our sponsor, I will be with you just a moment. I forgot. Chris Wootton is our sponsor of this show, and we appreciate him so much. He's been with us a long time, and so we want to say thank you to the Wootton Financial Group. It's a group of financial Wootons, and they're so wonderful. We've used them for many, many years. And, as I like to say, Sam doesn't like anybody, but he likes Chris, and he has a lot of confidence in Chris. And so, he's got to be good. And that's all I can say. And Chris will have a meeting with you. If you call up the number that you'll see on your screen that says Chris, the Wootton Financial Group, you call him and make an appointment, and Chris wants to kick the tires with you in the way he likes to say it, and find out if you like him and he likes you, and he'll give you some ideas of things that they would be doing for you, and to help you grow your money and grow your confidence in your money that you have set aside for retirement, and what he could do, how he could invest it. It's so exciting. And every time Sam says, I'm going to meet with Chris, you want to come? I went, no, I'll just sit there and eat the peppermints. I won't ever say, so Cindy, what do you think? What do you think is a good idea? You'd never take my advice anyway. So, no, you go meet with him. But anyway, he's a great guy. You'll love him. And anyway, so now we're ready to get to our guest. I love this lady. It's so hard to get a hold of her. So I'd rather call Britney Spears and try and get her on the show than try and get Brianna Dunaho on the show, and she is my guest today.
Hello.
And so bad because I wanted to call to remind you, and luckily you answered, and I was like, you did answer, and your voice, because the last when I left here yesterday, Richard goes, now are you sure you have Brianna? And because I keep saying, I'm going to get Brianna this week. I'm going to get her this week. So I said, yeah, she's going to be here. And she walked in the snow and in the wind and the rain. She walked her way.
2 blocks.
2 blocks.
It's not a miraculous
Yeah,
feat.
70 degrees.
It's not a miraculous
70
feat.
degrees. No. That's good. I'm so glad. I was going to ask you, want me to take you home?
If anything, it's the most beautiful walk today.
It's
to
not
take.
a bad walk. It's
Yeah. Well, I like it that I can drive right down into the basement here and get out. And there's no wind or anything like that. And I was trying to get medicine for Samantha, and I was just going to do a drive-through for that. Everything was going to be drive-through, so I don't have to get out in this wind. And they sent her the wrong stuff, so I had to drive back over there and get out and go in and have a come to Jesus meeting with the pharmacist and say, something's wrong with this. And it wasn't. It was right. But so my hair just went like this, and there I was. And I went, I don't care what it looks like now. It's just going to be what it is. And I'm ready to wear one of those caps. All the kids are wearing those big knit caps. And I'm ready to do that. I
It's
think
not
that's
cold enough
the
here
way
to
to
do that.
go.
It's not cold enough for that.
Huh?
It's not cold enough here for that.
Well,
I mean, maybe the 2 days next week it'll be cold enough for
Yeah.
that, but it's not cold enough in Texas for that.
well, but you don't see how I dress anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. And what I always tell HEB people, you know what, guys, I come in here in the worst outfits. It looks like I just got out of bed and drove here, and I did. And I just want to tell you, but y'all still take my money anyway. I just love y'all for that. That's so sweet. And you never comment on anything like, ma'am, do you really mean for that?
Are you homeless today?
Are you homeless?
No, they're really good about that. They just
No.
want your money.
No, my kids will say, please don't get out of the car, and Grandma, do you think you could look more homeless? Maybe you could do something else with that hair. Anyway, I just don't care. What is so great about getting older is that you do get that privilege, that permission just to do whatever you want to do. But if I ever come in here with my bra on the outside of the shirt,
We will stop you. Richard and I
do want Richard
make
to
that
tell-
claim that we will stop you.
Now, where did that happen in a movie? What movie did that happen? Where the secretary was sitting there and the star comes in and he walks through there and she has her bra on the outside of her blouse and he just looks at her and shakes his head and walks a bit. Do you know the movie? So you're
I
gonna
have no idea.
Splash. Tom Hanks and John Candy. I think was John Candy was in
And
that.
who's the girl in that movie?
Well, it's the secretary was
Is it
Daryl Hannah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But the secretary was the lady. She was like, hello, so glad to see you. Come on in. And she was the secretary for everybody that came in and say, so how's everything going? And he's trying not to look at her bra and what is she doing? And it's hilarious. So I'm waiting for that day. But since I wear all black anyway, it doesn't
Nobody will
matter.
notice. Nobody will notice. It's fine.
No, it's like I told you one time in church, this girl was sitting in front of me and her bra strap was showing. So I took the, part of her shirt and pulled it up over it. I said, I just want to tell you that your bra strap is showing. She said, it's supposed to. And she pulled it back down. Cindy died. She says, everybody wears, that's how you wear that. That's to show that. And I went, we would have died if our bra strap showed whenever we were.
Different generation.
So it's a different day, different time,
generation.
different day. But what is not changed is football and baseball and the
They've
love
changed
of it.
a little bit.
Well, yeah.
There's
they
new
have.
rules in effect every year, but it's fine. It's the same basic premise.
Yes, true. And if they're taking suggestions, I always have a couple of suggestions for them. Like, I barely ever watch unless they're winning. If they're winning and then we're going into the playoffs, I will start watching and Chad, my son, will go, "You're such a fake fan. You're just."
It's called a bandwagon fan.
Bandwagon, jumped on it. Yeah, jumped on it. Had to have a hand up to pull me up there. Yeah, but I was there. And he said, so it just makes me sick to see you get so excited, like, don't do that. And I said, listen. And he said, because anyway, you got to figure out if you're like bad, when you come in at the last minute and they start losing, you can't do that anymore. You got to stay away until it's
bad
over.
juju. Yeah.
Because I'm bad luck. And so
You're bad juju.
I have to. I think he really does almost believe that because it has happened when the Astros were playing, and he go like, "Is Mom in the room?
Tell her
Make
to
her
leave.
get out.
Tell her to leave. Tell her to leave.
Tell her to get out of that." But anyway, I had heard about CJ. Can we call him CJ or
Yeah, we can
I
call
say
him
Captain
CJ Stroud. We're not
Stroud.
going to call him
Captain
CJ.
or anything?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
CJ.
fine.
And Domenico.
Call him Captain.
Is it
D'Amico.
D'Amico, not Domenico.
No, D'Amico.
It's not a country. Okay,
No.
D'Amico. I didn't know they'd changed coaches. I didn't know the other coach had left, and so
No, he didn't leave.
well, is D'Amico the
Yeah,
he's the
but
head coach?
He didn't leave. He was fired. But okay.
He was fired. Okay. Well, they did a good job of replacing people because it's great. And Stroud is just amazing.
I love him.
I think I'm so drawn in because of his spirituality. And when people try and interview him, they're going to get, the come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah, he is who he is.
He
And he's not
is.
changing just because you may not like it.
You may not like it. And this guy was so rude. He was doing a Zoom interview after it was over. This guy was sitting in the studio somewhere in L.A. And he starts to ask him questions. And he goes, well, if it wasn't for my Lord Jesus Christ, my Lord Savior Jesus Christ, that wouldn't have happened. And he goes, well, no, I'm just saying, like, how is it that how do you get so calm on the field when all this chaos is going on and you're so calm?
Like
and
I've
he said,
answered the question.
go back and listen to that answer again.
Yeah.
He says, it's because of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And he goes, okay, but when this, and he named some player, and when he ran, were you really afraid that he wasn't going to catch the ball and stuff? He says, I may have had a little fear about that or something. And the guy starts laughing. Well, he said, well, finally, you gave me an honest answer. And that just
Set him off. It probably set him off.
And he didn't say a thing. He got this blank look on his face. So like, let me
done.
process that.
I'm done.
Yes, I can turn over tables, but it was just really, it was so rude of the guy. But because he wanted him to be really like, yeah, I was ready to kill him. We were really get out there and let him have it. But he was so calm and so sweet and all that.
He's a good kid.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I can say that. He's a kid. He's a baby.
Yeah.
This is rookie season.
And everything that happens, and he looks up, and so like, thank you, God, for that. And it reminds me of the baseball players. I never noticed how many times they, like as they come off field or they do the home run and then they cross themselves. And a lot of them I know because they're from like the Dominican Republic and all that, and so they're much more the Catholic side of it, and are very demonstrative about how they do that. And I can remember in little league, going as my brother, and whenever they would cross themselves and stuff, and I'd go like, now God's got more things to do than to see if you're going to
play baseball.
and make sure you don't strike out. Come on, y'all, leave him alone. And I thought that was so so bad, but now I really appreciate it. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I love baseball and football are like my favorites. I haven't watched the Texans exclusively in a long time. I watch their games every once in a while when they're on, but I got really excited about him this year when D'Amico was hired because he played for us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a player for us in the first 5 years that we had a franchise. And so he's fantastic. And so I loved D'Amico as a player, so I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to come back. Okay, I'm in this season. So I've watched more Texans football this season than I probably have, and definitely since JJ left.
Right. Well, since JJ.
JJ's been gone 3 years now.
I said, "Where's JJ? Where
he played
Sam.
for the Arizona Cardinals with D-Hop.
Oh, okay.
And for like a year, for 2 years maybe, and then he retired. And so he's retired now.
Oh my goodness, that's why I didn't see any commercials or anything with him on there. So
he's all over NFL stuff and Twitter. Oh, you need to be his friend on Twitter because he's all over Twitter talking about the NFL, talking about the Texans, talking about. He was all over Twitter when we played the Titans, and they wore the Oiler uniforms.
Yes.
And then they lost to us.
Yes.
In Nashville, and he was like, don't make the rules. We get the uniforms back. Sorry, not sorry."
That's what Sam said. He said, "You have to watch this. Come over and watch this. You see him playing the Oilers outfits." I went, "I don't really care about that."
Yeah.
No,
no, it was a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So they want
we want our uniforms back.
Mm-hmm. So
they're ours. They belong to Houston. They do not belong in Tennessee.
But they were in New Orleans. They went to New Orleans. They're from Houston.
No.
No, remember when they?
Originally.
Oh, well, yeah. But they came here. The Oilers came here.
Right,
They were ours.
right,
Bud Adams is a
right.
wonderful
remember Bud.
human being.
Yes.
And moved them to Nashville. So when they moved them to Nashville, they became the Tennessee Titans.
But wait, they were the Oilers here with Moon and all those guys. Then they went to they moved to New Orleans Saints. They became the New Orleans Saints, right?
No, they went to Tennessee.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. It said the Houston Oilers began in 1960 as the American Football League. And then when the AFL, NFL merged, let's see. Yeah, and they just were the Oilers in
They
Houston.
were the Oilers in Houston.
They were the Oilers in Houston,
Yeah, they never.
And then they moved.
And
And
then
then, Bud Adams moved them to Nashville.
and they never became
And
the
they
Saints.
became the Tennessee Titans.
Man, I thought I was cheering for our old team. Okay.
Yeah. Although the Saints are not a bad team. Like, they're my alternative team.
They are?
Well,
Okay.
them and the Lions. I watch the Lions, too.
But not the Cowboys.
No, that's like rooting for the Rangers. No, we
See,
don't do
that's
that in my
right.
house.
That's right.
I always wonder what the legal reason was, because they had that conversation when Bud Adams took the team to Tennessee. It was more of when the Houston Texans were being just a thought. They said, like, why can't we just be the Houston Oilers? I wonder what the official.
Well, it's his
probably-
name. It was his name, so we couldn't all of that whole franchise belonged to him.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. I wonder if the conversation happened, going like, "Hey,
We want to be the Houston
Bud,
Oilers again.
we want to do it. So what?"
You know he said no. He's such a sweet human being. Is he still alive?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Well, that's one thing I
His
love
son-
because
his
you
son
know when the Titans lost, there's like speculation that I guess it's his daughter that runs it now.
Yeah, I think so.
And they fired the coach, and this coach is supposed to be like one of the top 10 coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they fired him, and the report was they fired him because she was pissed that Case Keenum beat them. And Case Keenum, I think, is like a third string.
Yeah, and he's a UH grad.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I could just imagine the insults she was throwing
She's like,
out. Who's Case Keenum? This guy's a scrub. And then it's like, he beat us. And
In the Oiler uniforms, just saying.
Yeah.
well, no, that's what it was
Yeah.
reported that that was the last straw.
That was
Like,
the
and
last
they
straw for
and
him.
everyone was like, why'd they fire this guy? Like, he's a good coach and all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches, did you?
that tells you
read
how much the
ups-
Adams hate Houston. I guess something happened.
There's bad blood there. Yeah.
What's his name? Belichick, not
Belichick.
Belichick. I know it was Belichick.
Belichick.
Belichick. For him leaving, that was the saddest goodbye he did today. He announced,
He's announced his retirement.
that he announced his retirement, and the guy with the white hair, I guess he's the owner.
I don't think he announced his retirement.
I heard he was open to other.
I know he's leaving. He left the
leaving the
Patriots. He announced they
Patriots,
left the
yeah.
Patriots. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Nick
He's open.
Saban.
Nick Saban is retiring,
Retiring.
which all of my Alabama fans are distraught
Yes.
because he's been there for
That's-
like 17 years.
Yeah, and they do have done so well.
Yeah,
And
but,
I don't think he was even up on his contract.
yeah, I don't think
So,
either.
and he was getting paid.
Yeah, but I mean, 17 years, you're done.
No.
I think he's done all he plans to do.
Felt like
Well,
he could
besides make a lot more money.
Yeah, but at some point, when you've got more money than God, you don't really care about making more money.
Well, I mean, it's just weird that you wouldn't fulfill a contract that you signed.
and get the rest of your money.
That tells me either there's a medical reason that no one really knows, or there's a private reason,
There's probably,
or
yeah.
he is not an honorable person. So.
No, I don't think that he's not an honorable person. There's
Well,
probably
he didn't
something
fulfill the
there.
contract he signed.
There's probably something there
Yeah.
that we
So,
can't.
Probably his
speculate
wife
against.
going, I'm tired of you waking up at
I
4
don't want to
a.m.
do football anymore. We've been doing it for 76 years. I'm done.
That's one thing I always wondered about families who are that involved with sports, especially at that high end. It's just like that's all they do. Like
Even in the
7
off-season-
days, yeah,
even in the
6, 7 days
off-season,
a
yeah.
week. They're on phone calls, they're watching film, and
They're recruiting. They're
I mean,
yeah.
it's just kind of like a constant thing. And you have this other life apparently, and that's one thing I always wonder why if I was a sports athlete, I wouldn't get married. I would never do that
Why?
because I'm playing a sport. I'll be like, I'm gonna have fun right now, but when I retire, I might get married, like, because you don't have time
But
for
then
that.
you don't know if she's after you for your money or if she actually just really
that
loves
same
you.
question could be asked during while you're playing. I mean,
Yeah, but most of the guys that get married are married. Even if they get married in their
that's why I like
their seasons, they are people that they dated before they
I
had
know.
anything.
That's what I love. It's like, oh, this is my high school sweetheart. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
LeBron's that way.
Yeah.
He married his high school sweetheart.
and so it's like, oh, she won the lottery. He's
Yeah.
actually good at sports, but I think she probably already knew he was good at sports. But
yeah.
he didn't break his leg or something. But,
Can you imagine that kind of money is just it does feel like that's so ridiculous.
It's crazy
so
money. It's
out of
crazy
this
money.
world that they don't have it very long, and all the people they try to bring in to make them understand how to use their money, how to spend their money, how to keep their money, and I've heard people that had gone.
That's
in
what
there
Wootton
to
Financial should do. They should make a
Yes.
deal with the NFL and be like, look at all these
sports
clients, man.
financial clients. Yeah.
Right, that would.
I think they have that stuff on certain leagues. I know the NBA has something like that.
Yes.
Because it got really bad for the NBA.
But the problem is
because those kids were coming straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they don't listen. They don't listen to them. They sit in the class and they go, and the people that try to teach them, they go, they're not hearing anything we're saying.
Well, that's
They're
what I
not
love
listening.
hearing. If you just search Shaquille O'Neal finances, there's all these interviews he talked about, like how he spent his money and how young he was, how stupid he was, and all this stuff. And then it became like he started. I think he was talking about like after his second or third year, he started realizing like, oh, I have a lot of money. I can do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
And so he just started like if you listen to his companies he invests in, it's nuts because of how much money. Like he made money off that Ring. He talks about that. He was one of the earliest investors in Ring. You know that little doorbell that has a camera on it
Oh, I
that
thought you
Amazon
meant
bought?
No, like
his-
Ring.
Yeah, so he was
the Ring doorbell.
and like
yeah.
he tells these stories that are hilarious because it's just like, well, duh, because he like that one particular story. He said he bought a house and he wanted to get a doorbell, so he's looking at doorbells and found a doorbell with a camera, and he's like, oh, that's really cool. I like that. And he installed it. It was really easy. He's like, man, if I can do this, anyone could do this. And he gets the number to like the guy. This is
The
before
owner, yeah.
This is before Amazon bought it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to invest in your company. I like your product. And I think he did that. And he did that for the General Insurance.
Yeah, the
Because
general
the General,
insurance.
you never seen those commercials,
Oh
Shaq?
yes, yeah.
Because apparently he was trying to get insurance when he was like 17, 18.
and couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it. And then the General was the only one that would give it to him. So that paid back for them.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be in your commercials. Like, y'all do a good deal. You help my family out. Da, 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 da.
Well, and he walks into Walmart and says, "Okay, everybody that's in line, I'm paying for." Like has
there's
$10,000 Walmart receipt.
Well, there's another story about that where he like got his first apartment.
Yeah.
And he didn't know where to go, so he just went to Walmart to buy everything.
And bought everything.
And bought everything for a house, like
Yeah.
the towels, the furniture, everything. And
At
something
Walmart.
At Walmart, and then the credit card wouldn't go through because they're like he calls the company, and the
They
company's
called
like,
him.
who would spend $20,000 at a Walmart? And
And
he's like, well, I
me,
am.
I'm here right now.
And but yeah, it's like Shaquille O'Neal's a great example of he's like, I had no idea what to do with money, and
But now he talks about his kids all the time that he's got all this money and he's happy to give it to his kids, but they have to come with 2 degrees.
yeah.
Like they have to have 2 degrees before they can be written into the will to get money when he dies.
Wow.
Like it's like he's like,
Wow.
I want them to be able to earn money on their own before they
they're
can
given to
before
them.
they're
That's similar how I grew up. So
yeah.
That's
But that's valid.
Why?
Like you have to like
again, I wish
Do
I
you-
was a sports athlete. Wouldn't be married. I'd be having the time of my life.
you are so ridiculous.
I would have.
You are so ridiculous.
I wonder who's the one athlete who has the most kids and baby mamas ratio. I wonder who it is.
Ooh, I have no idea.
Because
Ooh.
there's
Can we
somebody.
Google it?
I don't-
wonder if it's. I wonder that statistics got to be out there somewhere.
Yeah, because it's like, because I guess the ongoing joke is Nick Cannon, the entertainer, has
Oh, gosh,
has
he's
like
got,
9
like,
baby
9
mamas,
baby
or
mamas.
something like that.
9.
9 or 10.
Yeah, something
It's
crazy,
crazy.
like that. And then there's got to be another
Why
one.
would you want to deal with that many people? Like I don't.
Because
I'm
he
good.
didn't deal. He didn't.
Well,
deal.
he has a preference, and he's gonna stick to his likes. So I mean,
He does.
oh, and that's why I love like remember Dwight Howard, not Dwight Howard, the beard from the Rockets. Oh, what's his name? Help me out.
I'm looking at his face.
Whatever is the player. His big thing was he loves strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a known thing. It was the weirdest purporting you'd see him because like he would go to a strip club every time he plays somewhere, and it was like his thing.
And that's where he was. Everybody knew to go to the
but
best.
like he does. I don't think he has any kids, and I'm like, man,
Harden.
Yeah, James Harden.
James
I
Harden.
wonder if he has any kids because
Really?
that became his thing, where it's like he just invited the whole team. Like, y'all want to go? You want to go?
And he'd drop money in every single strip club. And
Yeah, but that's his thing, but I don't think he has any kids.
I don't think he does either.
Good grief! You think
If he does, he may not know about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's
see how many people? That's what I mean. People come up and say, you know, that the judge, you know, where they do the
Judge Judy.
not Judge Judy is the one that where they find out if they're the father or
Oh.
not. What
Maury.
No,
Mari used to
Yeah.
do it all the time. Yeah.
You are not
Judge
the
Maybelline,
child.
Judge.
I don't know what.
But
Anyway,
yeah.
anyway, to sit there and watch these people come up and find out if they're the father or not, and the family's sitting there going like, he better not be the father, and so it's just you think it would be like Maury or one of those kind of shows, but she's very listen. This is a court of law.
This is about the
and you
kid.
don't talk.
Yeah.
And it's about the kid. We're not worried about your feelings or anything like that. And she's really rough with everybody. And but it's so interesting. But what they do is they only get up to that part where they start to pull out the
And then they go to
who's
commercial break.
no, it's over. You have to go to another reel or whatever it is to find out what the ending was, and it drives me
I love
crazy. So
You know, I also when I realized, you know, the athlete, you know, the dream I had to be an athlete, I would also want to be in the position where I require people to sign NDAs when they hang out with me.
Before they hang out with you? Yeah.
I really want to be in that
Before you
situation.
can walk into my house, there's a clipboard on the outside that you have to sign
Yeah,
the NDA.
I need your handprint. I need
and
your blood.
a drop of blood.
And
what would they be disclosing that you would?
It doesn't
want
matter.
them
They don't
not
need to
Doesn't
disclose
matter.
anything. And you drop your phone in the basket by the front door. It'll be hermetically sealed until you get back
no,
to
see,
it.
I'm rich though, so what I would do is whatever phone, I'd be like, let me see your phone. Oh, is this the iPhone, the newest one? Hey, John, bring me an iPhone. And they're like, what's going on? And they just hammer it. And they're like, there you go. Here's your new phone, but you can't open it.
You can't install anything until you leave.
That would be great. I
You
mean,
want to be that rich?
just think
So
about
that
the,
you have stupid money.
yeah. So think about the
Yeah.
closet of all these phones you have, and
Get
you're like,
Samsung.
I got every model,
Google.
baby. It's like, oh, you got a free upgrade by coming to my house.
Yeah.
Really? Why
Good
is that?
job. Good job.
It's like here's your
your
new
new
phone.
Richard Rich. That would be awesome. You would be. I mean, so
I already
many
know what I would do with
girls.
stupid money. I would have the greatest political ads ever.
You would.
Oh yeah, against everybody. It'd be like all made up.
You
stuff.
would just make political ads just to counteract people.
Oh, just to have fun with it. Like for example, like I would have a joke about Donald Trump, but it says this is a parody.
Yeah.
This is a parody. But
Yeah, you would
I
have so much fun
Like
with
I would
that.
have him tinkling on people and like just totally crazy stuff, but make it in the fashion of like, can you believe he did this? Can you
Yeah.
believe he's
Yes, him
with
tinkling
Epstein?
on someone instead of
Like right now, my new political ad would be Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers on Epstein's flight logs, both of them. And I'd be like, can you believe that they both did this?
Yeah, how would he know if he wasn't part of that? How did he know that,
That would be amazing.
Jimmy was on the plane?
Well, see, that's what, that whole scenario is hilarious to me because I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Because he never directly said, hey, you're on the list, you pedo. What he said was in a remark from previous years where he's basically saying Jimmy Kimmel was afraid that the list exists.
Yeah.
Not because he was on the plane. He was
Right.
just like, he made a joke about Jimmy Kimmel denying the list existed.
Yeah.
So
and
he
how did it come back
so
up?
he made it a joke
long
about
time
it.
ago.
He's like, "Hey, I heard this list is coming out. I bet Jimmy Kimmel's afraid, like acknowledging that the list exists or something." along
And
those
now
lines.
it's blown up into this whole
But
thing.
then it blew up into like, "Oh, he said he was a pedo," and I was like, "He didn't."
That's not
really
what he
That's not what he
said.
said.
No, he never did.
But because I think there really was a comment where he was saying like, "There's no list that existed," and then Aaron Rodgers was like, "Oh, look, a list exists. Maybe watch out, Jimmy." You know?
that started a long time ago about it's going to be everybody's going to find out who was on.
Well, and unfortunately
there.
for those people on the list, it's like everyone's guilty. Because when you see like Stephen Hawking was on the list, you're thinking, really? Like, you really think he did all those
Stephen
things?
Hawking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, do you really think he was like on the island doing that stuff? I don't really know. Like that kind of because I imagine that Jeffrey Epstein guy talking to everybody. Like
Yes.
he's
Yeah,
Mr.
he talked
Social.
to everybody.
And
So
he took
it's like-
pictures with everybody. He's
well, maybe
standing next
I
to
don't know. I mean, but I'm saying like if you're on the list doesn't mean you're automatically guilty. But everyone's treating it like you're. Like, what happens if some poor guy was like some accountant and
Just penciled in.
and he goes, "Hey, you want to ride with us? We're both going to Columbus, Ohio." And you're like, "Yeah, sure, that'd be
Sure,
great.
no
Thanks,
problem."
man. Like, thanks for bringing my family." So now I have to like find a picture of my family on the thing.
On
Like, I
the-
went with my family.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't.
I just hitched a ride. I didn't see any or talk to anybody.
And then you got some, Fox News person saying, "Oh, he brought his family. He sold his family to Epstein." And like, it just gets even crazier.
Well, imagine Prince Andrew. That was just.
Oh, that's great.
That was
well,
hilarious.
the greatest are the
'Cause
pictures.
She had details. There was details.
well, there's
and
pictures of like
Yeah.
getting massage.
That's so
I
stupid.
can't even
How
imagine. I can't even
dumb
imagine.
could you be to do something like
Well,
that?
it's just, I mean, that's the kind of thing that stays with you forever. Like that massage picture of, I think it's Bill Clinton at like the airport getting his back massage, whichever, with some young girl. And it's just like, come on, man. Like,
Why would you allow the picture to be even taken to begin with? Like, why?
I mean, it's just so funny to me. That's kind of
Well-
stuff. Especially like the unfortunate, was it Joe Biden's kid? Like that
Right.
stuff will never
Ever die.
Because there's some fun uncle or cousin that is a jokester in that family. And it's like, look what I got framed for you. And it's just, it's.
I did some doctoring on some pictures. You
Yeah.
want to see what it came up with?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Please don't doctor any pictures.
Here's our family photo. And you see,
Please
like,
don't
it's
doctor
like-
any pictures.
But I mean, that's again, if I had stupid money, I would have too much fun.
Yeah.
I would have fun with Cindy too.
Oh, how would you
Oh
have
my
fun with me?
gosh.
What would you
Um,
write a book?
no, actually, what I would do is somehow get an officer to pull you over, and basically say you're a person of interest for drug trafficking, and you'll be
She would
like,
lose her mind.
and you would be like, no, that's not real. He's like, oh,
That can't
I
be real.
heard
No,
there was
all-
a hot tip that was called in. And we had Cindy Cochran. This is the make and model of the car. Can you please open your trunk?
Of course, but all
But
I
see-
ever heard though was they said you're a person of interest.
Yeah, I know. A hot.
Of course I am.
And then, unbeknownst to you, I would have your trunk filled with like baby
drugs.
powder or something, but it looks like duct tape drug things, and it's like
Oh my god.
you're gonna be like, what is this? And you're like, well, no, we're
You don't have to because I carry that. I have one of those blood coagulators, so I carry that with me, and it looks just.
But I would have
exactly
like 20 pounds of it in
cocaine.
your car,
Duct
and then
tape
but
bricks
it just
in the
looks like bricks, and they're like, And what would be great is like have like we make up some cartel sticker,
Cartels.
but it'd be like the Cindy Cochran show.
Oh my gosh.
On them, and then Cindy, like it looks official, like
Stupid money. Stupid money. Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
See, that would be something I would do to you, Cindy. That'd be
Yeah.
so much fun, and I would definitely tell Sam before I would even do it. I'd be like, I really got this great joke. I really
And I
wanna
need
get-"
you to be unavailable to come down to to
Yeah.
bail her out for anything, okay?
And
and-
no, what he would do, he'd admit he's the hot tip. He'd be like, I'm sorry, sweetie. I had to call it in. You were getting out of control.
And he would. And since you have that air tag, that was easy to find you.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
That's-
That's
yeah.
why I gave him those air tags. I can't believe how many air tags we've got now on everything. And I said, watch, I will never lose another anything.
And you lose them all the
I
time.
couldn't find my keys. I couldn't find my, but it's complicated. It's complicated. It's not that easy to do. It's
It's
just
not
I thought
that
you just get it. Well, it is if you're
not that
stupid like me. I'm old. I have to play the old card.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know hair.
See, that's why they
care.
create communities just for you.
Just yeah. There's one
I
right
love
down
it.
the street from us, and I keep telling Sam, I said, let's sell this place and 5 acres, and just let's go to the place where
He's like,
they
no,
do
I have to
everything
deal
for
with
you."
people. I don't want to talk to people.
No, he doesn't. He does not.
No, he doesn't want to
He
deal with
hopes
people.
that
Well,
he
no,
just
the
drops right
reason
there.
Sam is such a great person is his discipline and routine.
Is
So
what?
his discipline and routine, and he has that routine where he
Yes.
lives. So he's not gonna like. Why would you want to take him away from the routine? That
He
would
would,
that
he would have
break
to
him.
speak to people.
Yeah, that would
He's
break
not going
him.
to do that.
He's going to have to interact.
And the great thing about Wootton Financial, it gave him the freedom to say, I don't have to do that.
No, that's right.
Shout
That's
out to
exactly
Wootton
right.
Financial, sponsor of the Cindy
He
Cochran
said,
Show.
Yeah.
he said, I can stay right here. You
Yeah.
can go live there.
Right. Well,
Come visit anytime you want.
It's right down the road, and I'll drive the golf cart down here, and I don't have to.
I
have
wonder if that's going to
insurance.
be the new way people handle their relationships. Because, there's like, we have open relationships. We have all this weird, new age, how we still stay together. It's, when you hit like 70, 80.
What's the point?
It's like, well, are we still married? Like, well, I got an idea.
One of us is going to die in the
like
next
you
5
could,
years.
if you want to move to another place, you can do it. And if I want to live here, you can do it. But we're still married. We're still good.
And we'll like date. It'll be like
you can come have dinner.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We'll go to the movies. It'll be fine.
I think that's going to be the new way. Like
It's so Sam was like, okay, because he's in his man cave, and that's where he stays.
Where he stays.
And
see, I like that.
and it's perfect. We get along so well because he'll say, hey, you want to come over and watch the games? And we bonded so much over the Astros, and when they lost, we just looked at each other like,
about it.
now what?
We're not talking about
what?
it. Let me just tell you, baseball solstice was last week, so we're halfway through.
Are they
Captures and pictures?
Well, yeah, my favorite
at the end of February.
Yeah, my favorite new standing, because MLB does these like computer standings, and this says like top 10 catchers, and Yanner Diaz is at number 8, and I'm thinking like, I wonder if Dusty Baker sees this, and was like, man, maybe I should have played him more, huh?
I bet he doesn't care because he's retired and he doesn't have to care anymore.
He doesn't have to wear gloves anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't have to.
okay? Maldonado wasn't part of that list, was it, for catchers?
He's at the he went to Chicago, the White Sox.
But it was just funny to me that like MLB values Yanner Diaz
you
at
didn't
number
know that
top 8.
he went to the White Sox.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
and
so excited.
and Brantley retired.
As he should have.
He was so cute.
I know. But Brantley's probably one of my all-time favorite players, and my mom is one of his biggest fans, and she's got a jersey that says Uncle Mike on it, and she's got little Michael Brantley earrings, and she loves Michael Brantley. So
who's the guy? He looks like a model. He plays out in center field.
there's lots of them that play out there.
I know. If you just said his name,
Jake Myers.
Jake Myers.
Mike, yes, he was so cute.
He's a cutie.
Goodness,
He's a cutie.
That was It's a shame he didn't play better than he did, but it was.
He played well.
Well, he did good. And
Well, that's the unfortunate thing for those positions where they don't have full stats because they didn't play every
They
game.
don't play every game, yeah.
So you can't really judge a player when you're cutting people, and especially like Yanner Diaz. That's why I was surprised to see him on the list. I was like, how did they get him at number 8 if he's only played?
When he only caught for like a pitcher all season long.
Like it was really weird. But then that's just them kind of projecting because stats are really big in baseball.
Well, they've got to get a catcher that can hit.
Like the Texas Rangers catcher wasn't even on the list, top 10,
And
he's really good.
And I hate to say this, but he's actually a very good catcher.
Yeah, I was surprised. That's why I was surprised. I saw this list, and it's all by computer, so it's not like some fanboys.
Based
in
on
there.
projection,
Yeah, it's on
yeah.
projection. So it's like, and it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. But
What is the thing? It's called fan something, and it's like pornographic, but it's
OnlyFans.
only fan.
Yeah.
How did you know that so quickly?
Because you're on it. I put you on it.
That's the second joke you'll do is stupid money.
Yeah.
People go like,
And well, she
Just
talks
put
about.
feet. Just put feet pictures all
No,
over
she
it.
tries to put her bra. I have a camera just getting just above the waist, and it's like it's hashtag Cindy above the waist. That's how you find her. And
Above the waist instead of after dark. That'll
yeah.
work.
listen,
but-
I've got.
Well, OnlyFans isn't just for pornography though. That's the irony of that.
It's not.
No, originally it was created for like basically artists and things that would have a following, and they can people
They
can
could create grassroots followings.
Yes. So like if I did portraits of like, people, and people can follow me and donate money to me so I can continue my art and buy my art. Like
That's what it was originally created for.
Well, I mean, it's still there
Yeah.
for that. It's still there for that. but-
Yeah, if you go on and you can find anybody on OnlyFans. You
Maybe
don't
that's how
just have to
Hunter
be-
Biden put his paintings
No,
and
I'm
stuff
sure
on
that's
that,
not
and
how that happened.
then he.
Sure
But yeah,
that's-
that it still exists for that
Yeah.
purpose. But I think what happened was they were one of the few companies that stuck by the sex workers
yeah, we don't care what
because
you do.
I
Yeah.
think like Kickstarter said no. I want to say what's another one? Patreon. That's a big one. That's like an artist supporting platform. Like they said no. And then Twitch was like, no way. And then like I want to say OnlyFans was the only one that was like,
we don't care.
We don't care. It's just we have
Give
to
us
set
our cut.
we have to set up restrictions
Yeah.
and you have to obey whatever we say, and that's what.
Oh,
And they do.
so you don't. It's not about being a fan of some team or anything like that. So people don't know that stuff.
Yeah.
People have to be made aware. Like,
I mean,
if
they
you
make
go
a lot
to-
of money though.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised no one really came up with that idea and had the lawyers to set up everything prior. Because if I was Patreon, I'd be like, why are we not doing this?
Yeah.
Because I mean, even though it looks bad, I mean, it's just like that's just part of this world, and at least it's controlled a little bit better than like actual pornography, which is like sex trafficking sometimes or most of the time. I don't know what the stats are, but now it's actually like a person and they're in control of their own content. Maybe, I don't know.
Cindy's about to explode right now.
This author wrote a book about sex trafficking. Made it part of the narrative of the book, so that she said, I just want to make people aware. Watch your kids. Keep your eyes on your kids at all times. And so I told her, I said, now that's the book I want to read is that one. She's did a mystery series and all kinds of stuff. She so interesting, and she's written 8 books. I was like in these thick books. So she gave me one. It's called Stolen Diary, and I've got to sit down and put my glasses on and read it. I used to read like when I was like 8 years old or something, but I look back and I think it was all because of school, and I'd always go to the back and read the back first, and just. Like,
I'm ruined. I everything I read is Audible now. Everything. I listen to books at work. I listen to books when I'm walking. I listen to books in the morning when in quiet time. Every book, whether it's a devotional, whatever, if it's got an Audible, I've already bought it.
Right. And my sister was that way. She had like shelves full because they traveled a lot. When I started traveling and having to go to Austin and I'd go see her and that kind of thing, I loved those books. Those books were great. I just, I wanted to sit down and read. And my grandmother was so pitiful because she kept saying, I'd love to read, but I don't have time to read now. So as soon as I retire, then I'm going to start reading. And her eyesight went, and she couldn't, read the books anymore. So you really got to, she said, read now while you have eyes.
I have to be on vacation or something to sit down and read a book. I just don't have time.
There's too much.
I just don't have time.
Way too much.
So every book that I read is Audible.
I meant to ask her that. She was talking about. I'm going to ask her if she has any audiobooks, and I forgot to ask her. She self-publishes though, and her husband's so cute. He's the one that calls and sets up all the stuff for her. He left a really good job in a big company, and that's what he's doing now, is just supporting her. Tell me about.
But did you notice
training
that
camp?
Did you notice that she wore the outfit
What outfit?
of her character? Out in the hall, she has the jacket, and that's why she wears that hat.
Nikki Garcia?
Yeah. The character she wrote, Nikki Garcia.
And that's what she would wear?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Out in the hall, she wore like that overcoat and hat.
Yeah.
She looked like a investigator. Like she.
Yes, I didn't even
Cindy's
notice
really-
that.
Are you messing with her?
No, I'm
This is
totally
actually-
serious
okay.
because that's how I knew who it was. I know Catherine for a long time. And I've saw when she walked by, I was like, oh, there's Nikki Garcia.
Nikki Garcia. She said that somebody from her church knew that she wrote these, and so he's reading the book. He tells her, I was reading the book, and it says that Nikki's going to go to bed with this guy, and I had to just skip over the chapter because I'm afraid I was going to be picturing you because I know you.
Because I know you wrote it.
You wrote the book. So did you remember her saying that?
That's funny.
No, I didn't listen to anything you just said.
Yeah.
I was looking at the comments because people are commenting, and I wanted to pick out some for you.
What are they saying?
It's kind of like Jimmy Kimmel protests too much from Misty, and I don't know why this says I love the machete.
Martin Maldonado, we were talking about.
Oh,
Martin,
okay. Or the
and he loves-
Tasmanian devil.
He loves
okay.
machete.
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 But no, that's why I wasn't listening to you. It wasn't because
okay.
you're
Okay.
not interesting.
I mean, I can't imagine people that are really into baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Is somebody?
Yeah, they're
calling
blowing
you?
me up. It's okay.
Who's blowing you up?
People at my work. It's fine.
Are they listening?
No, probably not. But
okay.
they're trying to be like, why are you not answering the phone? It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Why are you not answering the phone?
Because I'm doing a live interview.
I know, right?
That's right.
That's why
I want to know about training camps.
Okay.
Okay.
Which
So,
ones?
Because Sam said, weird. He says, what would be fun is to go to Florida.
Go to Kissimmee. Yeah.
And go Kissimmee. I remember going. I remember people talking about that, and we can go watch them.
That's our training facility. Yeah.
And but is it only for the Astros or is it?
That's our
the
training
Texan?
facility.
That's
yeah.
ours. That's Houston's. Okay. So, how much does it cost to get into? Do you have to pay daily to?
Yeah,
go over there?
it's like you buy a ticket just to spring training. Yeah.
How much are the tickets?
I have no idea.
You've
They
been-
change every year. I've never been to spring training. I would love to go spend a week in Kissimmee for spring training. Like that's one of my mom and I's goals, to go to Kissimmee for spring
yes.
training.
Y'all would have so much fun.
Yeah.
Where'd you get all the pictures? Was that
That was
at
the Texans camp. Yeah.
The Texans camp. Okay. Well, tell me about that. Was that fun? Did you get
that's
to
so
meet
much fun.
everybody?
Yeah, well, you don't necessarily get to meet everybody, but you do get to stand there and get autographs. If you're lucky enough to find the sweet spot before they close the gates, then when they're leaving the field or going to the field, you can get signatures and autographs and whatever you have. So yeah,
They'll sign your shirts and
they'll sign whatever if you've got a pen and you've got something for them to write on, they will write on it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's super sweet, and it's especially at the beginning of the season when a lot of guys you don't really know, you don't know how they're going to do. You get their
Right.
signature, and it's like, what? I have his autograph.
See, well, I mean, it's got to be so personal. I mean, you're so up close and personal that you really feel like you're part of that.
Yeah, well,
you
they
know?
only allow so many people a day to come to camp. So
okay.
because you have to have a ticket to get in. The tickets are free, but you have to have a ticket to get in. So.
Can you order them online?
Oh yeah, you have to
Okay.
order them online. But yeah,
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I would. So, who was the most fun that you got to meet?
I went when JJ was here, and I got to talk to JJ while he was on the field running warm ups, and so that was lots of fun. I love JJ, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing will ever top that. So
That was the best.
yeah,
that was the
he's
pinnacle.
my favorite.
You've done it all.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Do you remember Moon?
I do
Earl
remember
Moon?
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon. Earl Moon.
That's Earl
Warren.
Campbell.
But
Earl Campbell and
And
Warren
Warren
Moon.
Moon.
they're Titans now, though, so you can't
No,
like
no,
them.
them. They were at the game
They were.
wearing the blue. Traitors.
Because that's their.
No, that's it's traitors. Traitors.
No. I love Warren
We
Moon.
need to cancel them.
He was here for JJ's Ring of Honor.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It's
He
'cause-
was here for JJ's Ring of
because
Honor.
he's selfish.
No, he's not.
He's so
No,
selfish.
he's
He wanted
not.
to be
Warren
next
Moon
to
is
him.
not. No.
Warren Moon's like, I'm better than you, JJ. That's why I'm here. I want to remind people I'm better than you.
That would never happen. It's
Warren Moon was so he had so many charities. He did so many
He
much
did a
good
lot of stuff.
for Houston, and he was a good guy. We had
He was.
when I
He
was
were.
with
He were.
He until he became a traitor.
when I was with Warner Cable, they had so many of the athletes and people come through there, and we had to do stuff with them. And Warren Earl Campbell he wanted to be the spokesman for a diamond jewelry factory, and so we were going to have to do commercials with him.
Wait, you mean like the factories where the children are?
No.
No,
Picking up the diamonds?
No,
jewelry.
diamond jewelry.
That sounds just like him.
That's so good. The first commercial I did, I thought this was going to be really cute. I gave this little it's a baby. She was a baby, like 6 months old or something.
He had people
And
that young?
I gave her a diamond. And
I-
I
She
was
put
just
it
saying-
straight in her mouth.
She put it right in her mouth. I said, "You're never too young for a diamond to love diamonds." And she's just doing this, and they called and said, "If you don't get that off the air immediately, that's so dangerous. You don't want children
Holding diamonds.
yeah, eating diamonds." So I felt so bad. Yeah, she said, I thought they were going to sue us. And I said, Cindy, you should know better than that. I went, she didn't swallow it, but she's holding on to it as she could have swallowed it very easily. So, but anyway, he came and they'd give him so much stuff, got so much stuff just given to him. Just come in and he had all that jewelry. I mean, have you ever seen all the necklaces and all that stuff?
With ice.
Like Mr. T. That was what?
Dripping with ice.
Dripping with ice. Yes, that's him. And one time he came when we were standing outside. Let's just get him getting out of the car, and there were a bunch of girls.
Bunch of girls?
They said, and he was going, no, I'm not going to do this now. Don't ever use any of that you just did. So sometimes those guys will get you in trouble. Yeah. But anyway, it's difficult. Warren Moon was just he was very articulate, so sweet. And Earl Campbell was just down home, southern, and can you not give me so many words at one time to say?
I just need small snippets, please.
Yeah, but he was good though. What a fire he put inside that, and to be so little. I mean, little compared to everybody else, but he was amazing.
He's a big man, though.
What the funniest thing was watching how many people were holding on to him, and he kept running.
Just
like
kept going.
They weren't even there. They weren't even there.
Yep.
But
you guys, look at his thighs.
huh?
See how big his thighs are?
They're huge.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They are.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Yeah. You notice his thighs. Okay.
Yeah, you have to ask, well, how is he dragging all these people? Well, how is he doing that? Well, of course, because he has giant thighs.
I just
pushing through.
I just hadn't concentrated on that. But anyway,
that's a lie. We all concentrate on the football guys in their
uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But somebody was playing. Who was playing? They had shorts on. I told Sam. I said, "Why are they playing in shorts?" It was a college team, the college playoff thing.
The national championship.
Yes. Who would be playing in shorts? Where would they be from? Like
What are you talking about?
Florida. It was the game they were playing in the playoffs, for the college playoffs. Everybody was wearing, long shorts, and so it was
Pants.
Most of the pants come to their knees.
No, these weren't. But they weren't, cinched around their knees. These were just like shorts, like long shorts. They weren't floppy.
I'm gonna need you to show me a picture because I don't believe this.
Okay.
They all wear different style pants. Yeah. Because depending on how many pads they want to put in.
Yeah.
Some of them don't wear pads.
They didn't have pads on their knees, which I didn't
some
understand.
of them don't. Like sometimes the kickers don't.
It's like baseball. Some guys wear them knee pants. Some guys wear all the way down.
Boot cut.
They do not wear boot cut baseball pants.
Yeah, they do. Have you not seen how long they are? That's considered boot cut.
Boot cut.
I mean, if it ruffles around your ankle, yeah, that's boot cut.
Richard's.
You don't think that's considered boot cut?
I don't think it is.
When it lays on top of your shoe with like different layers, like it's almost like the pants are too long.
And they're slit up the side?
No.
Are they slit up the side?
No, they're not slit up the side.
No, that's not necessarily. That might be ladies' boot cuts. But
Richard.
I can't believe he had babies working in the mines.
They weren't in the mines. They were just eating diamonds.
That's how they got the good ones. It's a process, right? They let the baby go through the process, and they.
I need you to
and
stop.
they harvest
I need you
after
to
that.
stop.
That's how they clean it.
Stop.
Oh.
I need you to stop.
I thought that's where Sydney was going.
That's where you thought I was going to. Oh, Richard. They had a
This
movie
place
about
processes
that one time.
diamonds thoroughly. The best diamond in Houston.
They
Yes.
We
process
feed it to
diamonds
babies.
thoroughly. Oh my
We
goodness.
feed them to babies. Because weren't we talking about that Tuesday about like ridiculous things like that? And like I discovered Dan Aykroyd has vodka now. It's like Skull vodka or something like that. But his selling point is it's filtered through a diamond, and it's like some spiritual diamond thing.
They aren't.
It's some weird deal. It's like
They
what?
aren't porous. I didn't think.
Well, not like directly through, but it's like they have imagine they have like a net and it's just filled with these type of diamonds.
Uh-huh.
And they pour the vodka through the diamonds to empower it or something
The
like that.
potato juice is poured through diamonds to make it better.
I have, but when he said that, like that's the claim
That's
to fame.
crazy.
That's how it's different.
That's
That's
insane.
how this vodka is different.
How does that change the taste of
It
vodka?
probably doesn't, but I just like the idea.
I'm
of,
like, how does it change the taste of
What's
vodka?
the name of that series that they're doing? That they've been advertising, and they have all these different stars around at the bar, and he, the one guy says,
here
"Let
we
me give
go.
you
We're
advice about."
I feel like I'm chasing stuff all the time, Cindy. It's like what is that stuff? Like goes up your nose, sometimes your mouth, and it sometimes comes out on the other end.
They have been advertising.
Like we need it to survive. What do you?
Air?
I
Is it
heard. Yeah.
air?
What is it? Air?
They've been advertising the show, and it's at a bar, and Dan Aykroyd's standing there as like the bartender.
I'll look it up.
I'm like, let's Google
Look
it.
at y'all. Everybody, this used to happen to me at church whenever we'd have meetings with
Because
all
we
the
don't
preachers.
believe
You know
it's
what-
actually
and I go-
happening.
You know what? I can actually,
story.
I can laugh. I'm gonna laugh if it wasn't Dan Aykroyd, but it was Bar Rescue, and you thought that was Dan
It was a
Aykroyd.
Bar Rescue. I know
That would
Bar
be great.
Rescue. I know Bar Rescue. No, this is like a new series. it
Dan
looked like.
Aykroyd news show on History Channel.
Bar.
The Unbelievable
hopping?
with Dan Aykroyd. What is it?
Bar
about?
hopping.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It says this was published yesterday in Variety.
Yeah.
Is he's reuniting with his SNL buddies,
Yes. Yes.
and it's called Bar Hopping.
Da, 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 da. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much
Okay, I'm looking now.
for
Bar hopping.
validating my brain. I
Yeah,
gotta
there you
get-
go. Cool.
See,
Aykroyd, Jim Belushi, John Lovitz, Kevin Nealon, George Wendt
Yeah.
have teamed up to lead subscribers of the streaming outlet Fox Nation through a history of drinking.
yes. And so they tell Dan Aykroyd, said, "Hey, man, I want to give you some tips on being a
These
bartender."
men all look old.
They said, "You suck as a bartender."
I like it. Well, Dan Aykroyd is 71.
Yeah, everybody looks
They look
bad.
old.
This
You
is
know
what you look like.
You know what I want
drink
to pull up?
too
Let's see if I can
much.
pull this up. So one of my favorite new shows, it's like a 30-minute show on YouTube. It's called Tosh, the comedian. Daniel Tosh is like the Tosh Show or something like that. But he interviews people in his life that have nothing to do with celebrities or anything. So he
Like
interviewed.
Tosh.0.
Yes. But he interviewed like his wife's gynecologist, he also interviewed his trainer. And his trainer was the original guy from like P90X, the what do you call it?
Shanti?
The Suzanne Summers thing, Thigh Master.
Oh, Thigh Master, yeah.
And there's another one, like he's in all these workout stuff. And so I started looking him up, and I was like, man, he looks really good for his age, because I think he was like in his 60s.
Uh-huh.
But then they were talking about, would you be in the shake weight shake weight commercial? And he's like, I don't want anyone knowing I can make that motion. But he looks really good, and then but he was like I remember P90X being a big deal, and he was the creator, like one of the creators of it.
With Shanti.
Yeah, and he was, but he like trains all these celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just interesting to see someone that old look that good, because you look at Dan Aykroyd, you're like, whoa, he's clearly
What
drinking his
happened?
Crystal Head vodka, by the way. That's
Crystal Head vodka?
That's the vodka that goes through the crystals.
I don't understand why.
So what
That changes.
age do you think is really old? Give me a number.
I would say dead.
Dead. Okay. No. What's
No.
old? Do you?
Old to me is 90s.
It's changed. It's changed.
90s.
Woo. When I was like Chloe's age, 19, 20, like 40, 50 was old. Like
Yeah.
they're halfway through their
I would
life.
say the
They're old.
90s.
I would say between 80 and 90. That's old. to
80
me.
and
Because
90s,
I've met
yeah.
80-year-olds who still work.
Who are still young.
Who
Yeah.
still work. And then, like, I've never met a 90-year-old that's working. They're just kind of like, I got to sit here.
My father-in-law was 101 when he died, and he was really sharp. I mean, we still talked about a lot of things. It was
Was
very
he the one
sharp.
that got you in the business?
Huh?
The business.
What are you talking about?
Your drug business.
Stop it.
It was.
Stop it.
It was Sam's
Stop it.
dad. Oh,
Stop
you're
it.
so bad. he just talks about.
I know.
Me
I
having
know.
a drug problem for so long. It's all in my trunk, and
I know.
It's always in
you
the
know
trunk.
everybody is all
With
in
a
my trunk
cartel sticker.
with the cartel.
With the, I'm telling you, with Cindy's face on it. And it's like the Cindy Cochran show, and on the back says I was on Johnny Carson. Yeah. Or that's the flavor.
That's the
That's
flavor.
the
Johnny
that's the
Carson is
flavor.
the flavor.
Johnny Carson's the flavor.
Oh my
See?
gosh.
See, and
Well, this
Brianna
all
understands
started because I watched that stupid show. My buddy, every time I hang out with him, he loves putting on like the border control,
Border Patrol.
Yeah.
shows, or like
Cops.
There's an airport one where they travel around the world with different airports and they do the drug busts, and you see all the creative ways the drug people are trying to get drugs in. And I always think of Cindy. I was like, man, I bet if Cindy saw this show.
My trash TV shows are like the parking attendant places in like Chicago and stuff where they're all mad because their car got booted and towed and stuff. Those are my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Man, people that come up to that glass,
They're
You
mad.
gotta have glass like that big. and not-
They're mad.
Well, some of them are really creative and some of them are really stupid. Because probably like the craziest ones I saw were the trucking ones, where they're at the border and they get an 18-wheeler, and they like imagine
They have like the false backs.
well, not even
and-
that. Like, so imagine the whole 18-wheelers filled with. I think the weirdest one was coconut oil. So it was like 5-gallon tubs of coconut oil, but think of like the entire truck filled with like the 5-gallon on pallets. Out of all those deals, only like 10 of them had cocaine in it. So they wasted like 95% of all this coconut oil just to put in 10 containers of mixed. It was mixed in the coconut oil. The cocaine was.
Well,
And I was sitting there going like,
Doesn't that dilute it or anything?
Yeah,
no,
you
they
could-
have their way to, get it out.
distill it
But it's
out.
just funny to me that they're like, hey, we're going to fill this entire truck of 5-gallon coconut oil.
And
But
the
only 10 of
police-
them out of like the 150 are going to have our drugs.
Yeah, because they think they'll look for so long and they'll stop
Yeah.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
there was a TV show that they did it through wine. Like they put it
Yeah.
in and they would dry it out again on the other side of the border, but it was in wine bottles and
Ah.
Yeah, that was probably
Interesting.
the most creative one because it's like you have the trouble for the officer to like go through every single one, open up every single thing, and put this thing in there. And then other ones were like, one of them was trash bags, so it's just like filled with heavy duty trash bags. You know how they roll them up and stuff.
Yeah.
So in the roll there was like, and again it's like 10 boxes out of the 400. It was like this paper thin rolled with the trash bag of
That was-
cocaine or fentanyl or whatever it was.
yeah, it's insane.
You know, if they just get a job and put that much effort into a regular job, they
The
could-
regular jobs don't pay like cartels.
well, the
do.
danger though, of being caught and being
But I think the best
jailed.
ones though are the border ones where you get people like Cindy who go over and get their prescriptions filled. But see, what's interesting about Mexico is they don't care about how many you get through your prescription. So say the doctor prescribes 2 bottles, and you're like, and then Cindy
Can I
will,
have 5?
Cindy will have the idea. It's like, well, if I know I got 3 bottles on my prescription, but can I just go ahead and just get like 4 years worth? And so when they get pulled over, they're like, oh, I have my prescription right here. And they're like, yeah, it's for 3 bottles. There's 25 bottles right here.
Right.
Like,
What are you gonna do with the other
What are
one?
you thinking? Well, it's like
Yeah.
that literally these old ladies are just like, and it makes me think of Cindy. I'm like, Cindy, jeez.
But I was on the Johnny Carson show. You won't believe it. I was
We have
on
to get
Johnny-
going, Cindy. We've been having too much fun. It's
Oh,
it's
sorry.
3:03.
See, that's why, Brianna, I love having you on here. You
I
gotta
know
come
it's
back.
fun.
Okay.
Well, I'm only
you
2
come
blocks
back.
away.
All right. Well, good. I'll call you when Bob comes back because he said he's going to come back in 2 weeks and bring his fan base and.
Oh, I would love to be on the radio with Bob. That would be
Okay.
fun.
Yeah, because they got history. Okay, listen, I want to say thank you, of course, to Brianna Dunaho for your time that you spent with us. We love you. And to say, our first responders, we love you. We appreciate you and all that you do. And I mean, first responders, that's like parents and nurses, and of course the law enforcement and the military and all the people that run toward it while you're running away from it. So thank you so much for being who you are, how brave you are. All right, love you. See ya. Have fun on your weekend.
Every week, people ask the same 2 questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
From the beginning, the main purpose of the Cooperative Extension Service has been to change human behavior by teaching people how to apply the results of scientific research. By utilizing a holistic, multi-level approach, Extension family and community health programs encourage health and well-being for everyone. Addressing values, concerns, and needs with reliable science-based information, Extension programs